is Halo Infinite now worth playing? I have gone through every single little aspect of Halo Infinite for today's video to give you guys all the information on whether Halo Infinite is worth playing heading into the year 2023. I personally think it is where it should have been at launch 1 year later, very similar to Battlefield 2042, so let's jump right into it. The big thing that a lot of people care about is desync, so let's start with that. 343 has made a lot of progress on desync, but still happens from time to time. Blank melees and vehicle desync have been largely fixed. They don't happen all too often anymore. Getting shot through walls and all that sort of thing is more a connection issue, and with people playing from other sides of the world, they can never eliminate that completely. Next up we have custom games, and the custom games are much more stable. It's very easy to get a lobby going now, and you can play with your friends, no problem at all. It is still lacking options that past games had. A really big one is you can't even pick equipment. You have to use pre-existing game modes that 343 have provided and then edit those game modes. Multiplayer has seen some pretty big improvements over the past year. We now have rotational playlists every single week. An example of that would be Social Skirmish, Social Slayer, Social BTB, Snipers, Rumble Pit, lots of different game modes, so it's really good. There's even a variety of ranked rotational playlists, so ranked free-for-all, ranked team doubles, ranked elimination, you name it. 343 has also added region selection searching. It's limited to choosing local or expanded. No server selection for specific ones at this time. I don't think it'll ever happen. So if you're from Australia or America, doesn't matter where, you can set it to local and it'll only search for people in your region. The problem with this is because of the skill-based matchmaking, which is fairly strict, still in 4 versus 4 modes, it often makes it very hard to find a game in local regions outside of America. Also, if you live outside of America and you're looking for a match-made game, there is trouble connecting to the main American servers, so you may have issues matchmaking off peak times. For ranked, as I said, they've added a whole bunch of ranked rotational playlists, but 343 really hasn't taken on much feedback for the actual weapons and modes that the community would like to see in ranked. 343 recently said, look, we need to do more in this regard, we need to move faster, and I agree, they really do. Ranked still is based on a system that you can't even see, a hidden value, which equals good players to be given bad teammates, forcing them to lose almost 80% of their games. So if you're a really good player and you're playing Halo Infinite, you'll still be given bad teammates, which will force you to lose a majority of your games. 343 is reworking the algorithm for ranked based modes, but not the social playlists. Next up we have campaign, and co-op is now released. No word on split screen, but I wouldn't count it out forever. It might return in the future, especially with how 343 have been doing things. I really think we'll see split screen campaigns sometime in the future. There's a reward for 100% campaign completion. However, all the fun launches, like flying off fusion coils and other cool glitches you probably saw when the game first released, have all been removed. Flying the Pelican has also been removed. I will say though, the tank gun is now officially supported in game with its own model for custom games, and you can select it in Forge. That's fantastic. Moving on to customization, and we still have no full cross-core customization outside of Vices, but recently, actually in the past week, all 4 Spartan cores are now available for free, and each of the cores get 10 basic colors, so you can customize your Spartan much more than you could before. Next up we have population. On population, there was a 2 to 3 times growth in players with the winter update, and then the second update a week later. Xbox, as of me making this video, Infinite sits at 16th most played. This may change depending on region. As for finding games, you can pretty much find games all throughout the day with minimal wait time, so even though I want the population to be higher, it still doesn't impact you from playing the game. Keyboard and mouse has been given quite a few buffs to make it competitive with controller. The majority of KBM players welcome the change, but it's far from unanimous. Some people absolutely hate it. 343 will be adding a toggle to turn off keyboard and mouse aim assist, so you can get the raw input from a keyboard and mouse standpoint. Moving on from that, we have monetization. And as a free-to-play title, the store is still heavily pushed. Prices are still high on recent additions. The rotations of the items seem almost random at times. Many items have only been in the store once from Season 1 and haven't even made a repeat yet. Battle passes are still the primary source of unlocking content. As for actual gameplay, in terms of new sandbox and weaponry, there's been no new weapons or equipment added. That all comes in Season 3. However, all the useless weapons have received significant buffs. By that I mean the Ravager, the Plasma Pistol / Carbine, and Disruptor are all now worth picking up. They all fit their niche really well. The Commando was also buffed, the Battle Rifle was nerfed. Best way to test these changes is in the Academy. Training mode against bots has received a few changes here and there to make it better. Unlimited weapon drills was added midway through the year, and Red Reticle was actually added to PC. As for maps, since launch, 5 new maps have been officially added to matchmaking. 2 are dev made and 3 are made in Forge: Catalyst, Breaker, Argyle Detachment, and last week the Pit. Although now that Forge has been released, I'd expect this number to skyrocket exponentially in the near future. The thing I'm most interested in is progression, and still no progression system outside of ranked. Of course, you have the Battle Pass progression, which can now be completed just by playing the game and not based on challenges, because 343 completely overhauled the challenge system, which was really appreciated. This brings me to Forge, and honestly, Forge is incredible. incredible. It's the best video game editing tool I have ever seen. Comprehensive scripting and being able to art your maps and make them look as good as dev-made creations is really awesome. The amount of creative things that I've seen be created already is truly incredible. Theater mode. And oh boy, do I have a lot to say about this. It's still completely broken and needs to be completely overhauled. Not only is it functionally very hard to use, I needed my girlfriend to go grab a screenshot for me and she couldn't even work out how to make it work. It was that difficult. Not only is the playback speed set to 90% of the original, but the higher your ping is from the game you played, the more inaccurate the reticule will appear, making the footage look terrible. To finish on a positive, we have the custom games browser and the content browser. Custom games browser launched 3 months ahead of schedule. Really great addition that got added to the game, however it is quite buggy in terms of joining other players. If you run into this issue and you can't join anyone, you have to completely restart your game. River3 said it was more important to just get it out, even if it is a little buggy. I agree, the sooner it was out the better. And the content browser is a fantastic addition. It's really easy to bookmark maps and modes and then save them or even look them up. Forge creations are amazing, but if there's no easy way to share them, then it's very hard to get it out to other people. Overall, is the game worth playing now? I would say the game is finally where it needed to be at launch. There's plenty of game modes and maps to play, as well as the custom games browser, which is fantastic. The only really big thing I'd like to see for 2023 is a progression system, a career stats page, and just more rewards for playing the game in general. That is something I've really been wanting since launch, and I know you guys have too. Even Halo Waypoint has finally been updated and has all the stats available in every Halo game that you can still play. That pretty much covers it. That is every single aspect of Halo Infinite, what has changed since launch. The game has come a long way from a year ago, especially when you put it in a massive list like that. I tried to condense it as much as possible so then you guys can actually make up your own minds about it. I myself think it's really worth playing now, especially because it's free, at least for the multiplayer side of things. But what do you guys think? Are you happy with how Halo Infinite has changed in the past year? What would you add to the game? What do you want to see in the future? I look forward to reading your comments, but thank you all for watching. Hopefully you all enjoyed, and I'll see you guys later.